Dan Bernstein Unfiltered. Unfiltered on 312 Sports.
Dan Bernstein Unfiltered is here. I am he, Dan Bernstein. He is Matt Abaticola. What already?
Nothing. I am he.
What do I say? I am him? That's
No,
wrong.
Nothing. No, fine. You're right. No, grammatically, you're
Seriously?
correct. Yes. No, you're fine. You're good.
Unbelievable.
What's
unbelievable? Like already you're shaking your head at me. I haven't said. I say the first thing out of my mouth.
I wasn't. I had the AC on and a stiff breeze came through and it made my head
that's what it
wobble.
was.
Yes,
yeah, sure. Okay. We haven't said it. We've agreed it's 70, by the way.
Yeah, it's still too hot.
It is not.
But, right,
I think
fine.
it's still too cold.
Sorry, you are he and I am him, and hear me roar.
Never the twain shall meet. On today's show, a premature celebration of Cade Horton and an increasing understanding of what used to be something that would cause an uproar, and now just doesn't. And that's all okay, that our agreed understanding of how baseball has changed, and that's cool. We're going to talk a little bit about Ben Johnson and maybe getting an answer to what he understands about the Bears offense can be and or isn't quite yet. This Kawhi Leonard Clippers story that Pablo Torre is breaking is potentially enormous and kind of insane, but believable based on the NBA's history, based on the Clippers' history, and Steve Ballmer as well. But it would send shockwaves throughout the NBA and drop a big old steaming turd on the desk of Adam Silver.
Yeah.
Because there is a precedent to how his beloved predecessor dealt with this. So we'll get to that. I've got a follow-up on a story that we did a couple of days ago. Got a little bit of a reporting from the field from a listener on that one, and thank you. And also, first of all, thanks to everybody for the wonderful reactions to the delightful hour we spent with Terry Boers yesterday.
Yep. And
there was a ton of feedback and a lot of people just expressing joy and gratitude and a little bit of sadness, of hearing what Terry's going through as well. But he's okay enough. He texted me and just said he had a great time. I noticed in the comments one of his grandkids said, "Stop interrupting my grandpa with your ad reads and let him yap."
Did he really? I didn't see that.
That's great. His granddaughter had notes for us,
wow.
which is awesome. And thank you. And when I mentioned this feedback too that's been coming in through various modalities, we are going to steal something from our friends up in Minneapolis.
At Score North, yes.
Very successful. Phil Mackey and the folks up there have been very successful with something they've called Friday Feedback. And we're going to devote some time to that tomorrow, and it's going to be the plan on Fridays to sort through the YouTube comments and maybe stuff that we get elsewhere that we can glean. I'll have you go through my Twitter mentions because I want no part of that. As I mentioned, bad for me. But or maybe there's probably a bot or some AI that will do it now and do it for me. But we're going to pull a lot of stuff and then react. So you can be a part of things.
Yeah, and I know we've had lots of feedback come through so far, and I just want to share with all of our listeners that
with you the listener
that the show is evolving and growing. And remember, it's been a week. Like we're in stages, and our first goal was to get the podcast up and running and really learn how to make sure we're doing this on a daily basis.
Yeah, you're learning with us, and we're learning to get this up in time for Bears season. So
that's our goal, and we will add to it. We will expand. We will have regular segments that'll come up on the show. Some that we creatively design, some that will happen organically that we'll implement and start to use regularly. We do want to include you in on the show, whether, there's even opportunities down the road to bring listeners in on the podcast. I mean, we have that capability, and we're working towards that. We will have opportunities for you to send in emails to us to communicate with the show outside of social media as well. So all of those things are in the works. We hear your feedback. We see it. We read it. And again, we're building in stages. The main thing was getting the show going, getting Forward Progress up and running, getting Dan Bernstein Unfiltered up and running, and that's where we're at. We're getting it daily. I know the other day we had a technical issue on DBU.
Fixed.
That was something that was fixed. It was avoidable and will be avoided permanently moving in the future. So, thanks again for all of that feedback there. We will include you, don't worry, and we will have more guests. The show will evolve. It's a week old.
I've got my home set up taken
Oh,
care
yeah,
of.
we did a practice run.
We're testing that again this weekend. We might do a little bonus show over the weekend, perhaps getting ready for the Bears game.
On Sunday, you could maybe see a Bears-Vikings preview show come up. So
on Forward Progress.
Yes, just keep that in mind. And we will, of course, share that with you on all of our social media outlets as well. You know, there's X, there's TikTok, there's Instagram, there's Facebook.
Blue Sky.
We're everywhere.
We got a lot of action on Blue Sky.
You can connect with myself. You can connect with Dan. You can connect with 312 Sports. You can connect with Dan Bernstein Unfiltered and Forward Progress. It's all there. It will grow and continue to evolve as the days and weeks come forward.
Cade Horton was just awesome last night, and he has been. The guy's been absolutely spectacular, some of the stuff that he's doing. I know you've got a list for me that was shown during the
it was shown during the game. So this is since the All-Star break.
Okay.
What he's been doing. And if you look at his numbers since his first start after the All-Star break, he's had 47 innings pitched, Dan, 4 earned runs, 44 strikeouts, and an ERA of .77. Okay. Now, this flashed up on the screen last night on Marquee. I couldn't find the list online. I'm sure someone listening can send it in somewhere to us. Since 1933, okay, these are the lowest pitching ERAs post All-Star break with a minimum of 9 starts. Okay. Cade Horton is at .77.
Wow. He
is number 2 on that list. Okay. The only reason I remember number 1 is because it's very near and dear to my heart. Do you know who is the top of that list? This is, again, lowest ERA after the All-Star break with a minimum of 9 starts, and this goes back to 1933. Number 1 on that list.
Is it 84 Rick Sutcliffe?
It is not.
Because he was pretty spectacular.
He was pretty damn good.
That was more of a one-loss record thing, too.
Think newer.
Was it Arrieta?
It was Jake Arrieta in 2015. Remember, his post All-Star break ERA was .75.
Pretty incredible.
That special year that he had. So I'll try to find that whole complete list that they put up. It's flashed on the screen. I couldn't find it anywhere going online. But he's number 2 right now. Again, minimum 9 starts since 1933, an ERA of .77. 47 innings pitched, 4 earned runs, 44 strikeouts in that time.
This was posted yesterday by Megan Montemurro of the Tribune on Blue Sky, that 0.77 ERA in the last 9 starts. Since 1920, only 4 other Cubs starters have posted a lower ERA in any 9-start stretch during a single season.
So Arrieta's got to be on there.
Arrieta in 2015, Rick Russell in 1977.
Okay.
Bill Lee, and I saw the name of Bill Lee, not Spaceman Bill Lee. Not the Bill Lee you know. It was a Bill Lee in 1938.
Okay, I was going to say, how old?
And Hippo Vaughn in 1920. Ooh. So pretty spectacular company there for Cade Horton. So immediately, this is how my mind works, because this is what is your total anxiety issue and how I deal with it. And actually, that was something about as a side note, I really was heartened when I said that to Terry yesterday about how to hear his optimism about things in general, like, waves arms in all directions. That really helped me.
Yeah.
To somebody as much of a curmudgeon as he is and a cynic as he is, to remain largely hopeful about, I think, what I referred to yesterday as the better angels of our nature, the more that really resonated with me. That made me feel good all day.
Yeah, I loved when
it was great.
He said that he hasn't seen a mess big enough where people haven't been able to clean it up.
Right, that there aren't enough good people remaining to clean it up.
It's great.
So I loved that.
Yeah, no, very, very much so. And I really loved when I asked him, what's one thing he's learned he wished he knew sooner in life, and he was like, buy less cars.
Don't spend money on cars. So when I watch the way that my anxiety works, and you know this, you know me well enough, that I'm watching Cade Horton and I'm seeing that he's got the 2 different breaking balls, and he's got the true curve, and then he has a slider that isn't a classic sort of hard slider. It's a movement slider. If you start looking at his average velocities, this year his fastball is 96, right around 95.7, triple A was 95.8, so call it 96. and his slider is 83.4. That's a big drop. His slider is slower than his curveball.
Wow.
And that split change is his second fastest pitch. So it's a really interesting pitch mix that he's got. But as he is making all these angles and all this movement and being able, just like Arrieta did. Remember, when Arrieta had the feel for we called it a slutter. It was a slider or a cutter somewhere in between. When he lost the feel for it, he lost it.
Yeah.
But you remember the overlays that get done about that release point?
Oh, yeah.
And the how minimal your decision time is when with the same arm slot and not giving away that grip, you don't have a chance sometimes outside of guessing with that stuff. And the velocity difference is as significant as the movement. So I'm thinking, man, when is that arm going to fall off? Because it's fair and it sucks. It sucks. But you can't tell me that it's not fair about every good young pitcher to say, oh, geez. Whether it's Paul Skeens or anybody else that you watch and you think, oh, man, enjoy this while you can. Because eventually the stuff, it all kind of degroms on you or it falls off completely.
Yeah,
But-
no, it dissipates that arm eventually is going to give way. You're doing things to it that aren't natural.
Right.
And
So,
normal.
of course. So I figured, all right, when does he have TJ? He had it. The TJ's out of the way. And
Well, his first one is.
right, you can do it twice. It does
Yeah.
happen. But 2021, so it used to be 8 to 10 years was your ulnar collateral replacement lifespan.
Okay.
I mean, we're thinking about these like trolling motors now.
Right.
We're thinking about these, or like your garage door spring. It's amazing
How many opens you have, yeah.
how mechanical it is, or how many times you can turn on and turn off your coffee maker before it blows up on you. But now we're at, I believe, 5 to 7 years is the expectation, depending on pitch load, depending
And
on
he was at
everything else.
2021?
It was 2021. Okay. So my worry is, at first I'm like, yes, he's already had Tommy John surgery. And then I started looking at the data and I'm thinking, it's not too early to worry. I can't keep thinking like this.
No.
Why can't I just sit there and enjoy the fact that this guy is making people guess? He got so many bad check swings.
Yeah.
Like when major league hitters are like, hey, oh, there's a lot of that. And that's fun. Because you mentioned, do you remember the bad swings Arrieta was getting? Bouncing pitches. Guys, looking at one that they just, I guess he got me on the fastball.
Yeah, I love to see the just past halfway check swing.
A lot of them.
But they barely swing, though. It's like, they're fighting that urge, but they can't help it.
Completely in between.
Yeah, I love seeing it and seeing his progression this year and his growth this year. And again, it's hard for me as the Cubs fan to not say, what if? What if? It's so frustrating. You see this kid develop and, you lose your ace. Shota goes down. He's been fantastic, but you lost him for a couple months.
Yeah, but Shota's been
early
brilliant.
on. Oh, he's so good.
You know what he is? He's been like vintage Quintana as far as quality starts.
Oh yeah. He always had quality starts.
And that in 70% correlation between a quality start and a win.
Yeah.
Like the fact, it's one thing that I say keep you in it, but you should win his starts. Just because he's giving you 6+ innings and 3 or fewer earned runs.
Yeah, but then I get excited about it, and then I start thinking, what if? And then it takes me back to the lack of activity at the trade deadline that wasn't quality activity.
Fair.
It's just really frustrating.
And the main reason I wanted to talk about last night was because you start to see, the broadcasters might be tiptoeing around it or not, and these guys don't. There's no jinx. We know that. You say there's a no-hitter going, he hasn't given up a hit. And I know that Boog and JD don't believe in any of that garbage because they're intelligent, rational people and call the game in that way. But you're watching and like, okay. And then you come back the next inning and Ben Brown is out there. Now we can debate the fact that you chose Ben Brown. I don't know what they keep seeing in Ben Brown. I don't see what they see. I see a relief pitcher.
I didn't see it this year at all.
I see a relief pitcher.
Yeah.
And maybe there's more that's sort of on the bone there. But right now, I don't have the trust in him that the Cubs seem to have. Okay, whatever. And I can make a straw man argument. I could very easily say, well, and try to say that these people clamoring for him to stay in and they don't understand modern baseball. The fact is, nobody's clamoring for him to stay in. Almost every observer says, yeah, I'd much prefer that he have a better chance of being healthy and effective and maybe the ace in a short wild card playoff series.
Right.
That's so much more important, and everybody gets it. Everybody gets it. I didn't hear anybody grumbling. Wow, this modern baseball and this pitch counts and yeah, and what, and what?
Yeah, it's very different now, and to see that shift, that swing of that belief and that outright anger when you mention it, but it's still alive in my home. Because I mentioned that when the hit
wake your kids, wake your pets. Did you wake all four of the boys?
No, there was a hit given up, and I'm like, well, there goes the no hitter, and Natalie and Hank were both like, oh, you jinxed it, you ruined it. I'm like, okay,
you can cancel the post game show.
Yeah, Hawk's at the kitchen table.
Darn it. Takes a swig out of a handle of Smirnoff.
Yeah. Except it's full of water and he pretends to be drunk.
No. How about no?
I'm in at my house.
Can you name the last Cubs no-hitter? I want to illustrate the significance or lack thereof.
I can, but I won't do it.
You can. You can name the last Cubs no-hitter?
Yeah, because we discussed it about 30 minutes ago. Remember?
Well, then you can.
Yes.
That's a really good.
You don't remember that?
I don't remember if I was talking to you or I was talking to Sherman and Tingle.
I know. You're the mayor of the hallways.
Oh, I always go say hi to I'm Bill Walton.
Yes. I'm like getting ready and you're like, all right,
to see you.
I'll be back. I'm going to go
What a
mingle.
fabulous day. What an excellent day to be alive.
Yeah. So to answer your question, yes, I can answer it, so I won't.
Okay.
I'll leave it to
all
the
right.
listener.
Well, it's not the only question I have, damn it.
Okay.
The Cubs' last no-hitter was on this day last year. It was exactly a year ago. Happy birthday, last Cubs no-hitter. It was Shota Imanaga, the aforementioned, along with Nate Pearson and Porter Hodge.
My guy.
They no-hit the Pirates in the first no-hitter at Wrigley Field since 1972. I believe that was the Milt Pappas no-hitter
That's correct.
that he would tell you should have been a perfect game.
Oh, it was a great, beautiful day at Wrigley. I remember it.
No, I was
yesterday.
3 and I was not there.
I wasn't
Can you
born.
name the no-hitter before that one?
The Cubs no-hitter before that one?
Yes, this is.
Now we didn't discuss that,
Aha!
so I might be able to answer that.
I'm trying to illustrate the way our brains work regarding no-hitters right now. As long as I can be transparent about the way mine works when I see a really terrific young pitcher and I'm worried about his elbow exploding.
It was Kyle Hendricks.
It was no.
It was Jake Arrieta.
Jake
It
Arrieta.
was Porter Hodge, Shota Imanaga, and Nate Pearson.
No, it was 4 Cubs pitchers.
4. Okay.
Can you name one of the 4? If I tell you it was on my birthday in 2021, June of 2021, can you name any of the 4 Cubs
June
pitchers?
of 2021. Yes, I can name 4
at
pitchers.
Chavez Ravine, can you name any of the 4
Yes.
pitchers who were part of this in 2021?
God, that's a long
And
time
you're
ago.
a huge Cubs fan.
Yeah, but I don't remember last week's games. That was 4 years ago. Woo! 2021, June of 2021, at the Dodgers.
Yeah, none is a Cub.
None is a Cub now.
None is a Cub now. Not one, so none.
Nor is he. Yeah, I don't know. Give it to me. Nate.
Zach Davies started that game.
Oh, God. I would never guess that.
Yeah,
I forgot he was on the team.
He blanked him over, I don't know, X amount of innings, and he was followed up by Ryan Tepera.
Oh, Jesus.
Ryan Tepera came in, and then when they got all they could out of Ryan Tepera, in came the sheriff, Andrew Chafin.
Ooh. Really?
Yeah, the lefty.
Did Dodgers start their kids that day?
I don't know what happened with the
lineup
Dodgers.
there?
The Dodgers might have taken might have been the
Good grief.
split squad game maybe for the Dodgers. So Zach Davies, Ryan Tepera, Andrew Chafin, but he didn't close it out. You know who closed it out for him?
I had no idea.
Craig Kimbrell.
Ooh.
Davies, Tepera, Chafin, and Kimbrell. June
God, what a
24th, 2021.
Forgettable no-hitter.
Now, the Cubs no-hitter before that one.
Oh, Christ. What year was that?
was 2020, and it was an actual individual no-hitter, the only complete game up to that point this guy had ever thrown.
Yeah, I'm sure people know.
Of course they know.
Who
but
is it?
do you know?
No, I don't know. It's 5 years ago.
I think this guy's out of baseball.
Who started last night for the Cubs? See, I totally forgot. It was Cade Horton.
It's
Okay,
written
see?
on our dry erase
Oh, yeah. We
board.
just talked about it, too. I know. See, I forget.
The answer, Alec Mills.
Really?
Yes, you don't remember the Alec Mills
No, I don't.
no-hitter?
Have there been any more unimpressive no-hitters thrown by other baseball teams?
I don't know what to tell you, but he is indeed out of baseball, Alec Mills.
What's he doing now?
I'm not sure. I remember a bright guy. I liked talking with him, but it just says he is a current free agent.
All right. Maybe they can bring him back.
I think
Maybe he's got one more no-hitter left in that arm.
the way this staff has gone, look, they did it with Drew Pomerantz. Oh, God, nice pitch. What was that? What are you doing, bruh?
Yeah.
Why am I calling you bruh?
Because that's what you are. You're a total bro.
I don't know, yeah. But either way, can you name the last White Sox no-hitter?
Jesus. I didn't know it was trivia day.
I'm doing this to illustrate the fact that we don't really remember them.
No, we
because
don't,
they're
especially
not
when
that
they're
big.
unforgettable
They're not
pitchers.
that big a deal anymore.
Bums.
They're
It's like-
forgettable. This is not a forgettable pitcher.
All right. Okay, what year was this for the White Sox?
2021.
Man, 2021. Oh, I know who it was.
Yes?
Yes, I know this. 2021 Chicago White Sox. It was, I don't know, who was it?
Carlos Rodon. April 14th, 2021.
Oh.
The one before that was Lucas Giolito, and that was August 25th of 2020.
Remember when the White Sox were on an upward climb?
Yeah, there's some green
compete.
shoots. There are some green shoots in the land of the White Sox.
Yeah. And
I don't know
hopefully
they'll
5
grow-
or 6 years you might.
I don't know they'll
might
grow
hit the
into anything,
playoffs.
but there are if you really squint, you can see some things.
Carlos Rodon. I'm going to jot this down. I'm going to leave it on a Post-it note.
In football, we have gotten an answer perhaps to what I believed was the looming question around the Chicago Bears. And to me, it's, as we stated on this show.
Is this your biggest question going into the season?
Well, I think it depends how you define it. I think to me, the most important thing to understand is Ben Johnson came in with all these offensive ideas.
Right.
The limiting factor in his brain getting to the field is him actually confronting, when he game plans, what he can block and what he can't, what Caleb Williams can see and react to, and what he can't. And we don't know until that ball is kicked off Monday night. And the question I had was, going into the job, was Ben Johnson himself aware of that immutable truth about offense and taking over a team? It happens in basketball. It happens in football. Ultimately, the game will show us what he thinks his offense can do.
Correct.
And sometimes you have to get kicked in the teeth before you realize that. Sometimes it has to be beaten into you. Like, well, I can't do this. I can't do that. I can't do this. I can't do that. Some of that happened with Nagy, where we saw Nick Foles saying, oh, we can't block this. I don't know why they're calling this. You can't call plays that players think you can't run.
Right.
And that is dialogue with your players. That is an openness about their comfort level, making sure on install for the game plan that you have a two-way street with your quarterback, receivers, and understanding where everybody's got to be. Now, I saw a quote here. This is from a Brad Biggs story in today's Tribune. And this is Ben Johnson. He said, we'll have a real good feel as a coaching staff for what we're going to get out of Caleb on Monday night with how he approaches the next few days. It's going to help dictate how I call the game as well. Are we going to put the ball in his hands and on his shoulders to carry us through? Everybody on the offense is going to have to carry the load at some point in this game. Since I became a coach, Ben Johnson, I go in early in the week, and I have a lot of concerns about what it's going to look like on game day, and I don't know if this is going to work. Blah, 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 he said. By the end of the week, I usually have a high degree of confidence in our guys because of how they've gone about their business. I already feel that right now with this group. Now, that feels a little tacked on.
Mm-hmm.
I think he gave us a glimmer. He gives a glimmer of honesty and then realized he quickly had to say, I already feel that right now with this group. I don't know if he really does or doesn't, but I liked the answer because it does tell me that he is aware of, and say, I go in early in the week and I have a lot of concerns about what it's going to look like on game day. Good. And I hope the defense is bringing that out of you. I hope that Dennis Allen is telling you, I got you here. I'm loading up on this guy. I'm going to clobber your left tackle, and thinking like the defense and having those conversations. But that's the exciting part here, is he could also be saying this stuff and just putting it out there. This could mean nothing.
Right.
And I think you mentioned in a previous show that you think that at the moment you're defaulting to Ben Johnson being a truth teller and not a smoke screener.
Correct. That's the vibe I get when I listen to him, when I see him speak. I just get that he's being transparent and honest, and these are his true feelings. Because I think at times he, like you just mentioned, he catches himself a little bit, and that being honest and truthful and transparent isn't always like ultra positive, maybe what Bears fans want to hear, and he'll catch himself and he'll add that little tagline to it. But that's what and I could be wrong. He could be a great showman too, but I just don't see that in him. I think he's more of a guy like loves the nuts and bolts, loves getting into it, loves designing the plays. Right.
I'm still doing that.
I know. Yes. I do it all the time.
I'm still yarring every nuts I possibly can.
All the time.
Yep.
All the time.
Of course you do.
It's been years.
I know.
And years. I still do yar.
I know. I'm still
and
cursing
I can be out
you
in
with
public with it. It doesn't matter where. I just hear it.
And if
I see like a package of nuts and I point at them, yar.
And hey man, if you're new to the culture, I should explain. If you're like really new here, I don't know what planet you've been on for the last 30 years, but if you are new here, it's a pirate walks into a bar with a steering wheel sticking out of his pants.
I love this.
And he comes walking in, and he bellies up to the bar, and he sees the steering wheel is kind of getting in the way as he's trying to lean on the bar, and the bartender kind of leans over, looks over, and goes, "Hey man, what's the deal with the steering wheel?" And the pirate says, "Yar, it's driving me nuts."
Yeah. So whenever you hear the word nuts or you see the word nuts, you just have to give it an audible yar.
There it is. No nuts has gone unyard in our household for many, many
years. Yeah. And so I just think I think he really is a truth teller, and he'll catch himself at times that, hey, maybe that was too much, or I'm being too open or too honest or not as positive. Because I think, and I don't think he's being deliberately like derogatory about his players, but I think at times he delivers these backhanded compliments because he has already spoken too much truth.
And there's one of those that we're certainly going to get to in the very next episode of Forward Progress, a Chicago Bears podcast. If you're enjoying Dan Bernstein Unfiltered and you're also a big Bears fan, we get deeper into the Bears 3 times a week on Forward Progress, because generally it's going to be Mondays, Thursdays, and for now also immediate post games.
Yep.
Whenever that may be, it's going to be Monday night, and maybe obviously when something huge happens, we have the capability of getting right on and dropping something in there. But make sure it's got its own YouTube feed. Make sure you are subscribing. If you're subscribed to DBU, you should also be subscribing on YouTube to Forward Progress, a Chicago Bears podcast of 312 Sports, because that's where we devote it entirely.
Just to Bears and NFL stories.
NFL.
And so we're going to have a Forward Progress later today.
Yep.
That'll drop out. It's also available on your favorite podcast platform as well. So go make sure that you sign up for that there and you listen to it on your favorite podcast formats. For me, it's Apple, so you can get it anywhere though.
And for those who have reached out and said, I'm old and I have trouble figure out how to listen to a podcast. If I can figure it out, if I'm doing it.
Yes.
If I can do a podcast, you can figure out how to listen to one.
Yeah, you can do it on your phone.
It's just not that hard.
As long as it's a smartphone, not like a rotary phone. You can't.
It doesn't work.
There's nowhere you can dial into that.
I don't know.
We're still working on that. It'd be like old sports phone, but it's going to be DVU. Your rotary phone.
Just pick it up.
Dial in
976-1313.
Yes.
It's Fred Hubner telling. Here the scores. Here's the podcast.
But if you have a smartphone, you have a computer. Even if it's an old desktop that's attached to a desk somewhere in your home, you can get this done. It's not that difficult. If you need help, reach out to Dan. He'll give you step-by-step instructions.
Or your children or your
your
grandchildren.
children. That's better. That's right, not Dan. Your children.
Right.
My bad.
Right. And don't like go to some neighborhood kid and be a weirdo about it. Come here, Sonny. Come on into my house.
Yeah, don't offer him candy to help you get this podcast up and running.
I would advise against that, and then there's bad headlines, and
Yes.
we do not want that.
No.
Hey, want to welcome a dear old friend to Dan Bernstein Unfiltered, and that old friend is here for you. It's Omaha Steaks. And I don't know if you walked out your front door today and felt what I felt. Oh, it's shorts and hoodie weather. It's the autumnal feel of today in Chicago, and we're gonna get to some warmer days still, but the little preview there was
great.
glorious. I'm gonna take a nice long walk after our work here is done today, because this is what it's all about, and it's perfect time for grilling, fall grilling, and or some convenient weeknight meals. Everybody's looking for that. Tailgating season, fall grilling, whatever you need, Omaha Steaks has it. Handcrafted steaks, USDA. Now they've achieved what's called USDA certified tender, and the fan favorite filet mignons that you've had, USDA certified very tender. Their burgers are absolutely spectacular. They have chicken wings, smash burgers, and those big deli style beef hot dogs. And during the Red Hot Sale event, they have 50% off for you site-wide at omahasteaks.com. Plus, just for listening, you get an extra $35 off when you use the promo code Bernstein at checkout. It's just my last name, but go to omahasteaks.com, put a massive package of spectacular meat together that arrives in your front porch. Use the code Bernstein at checkout. And I know this because my family goes back with Omaha Steaks. You know, my family's from Omaha, that's my dad's side. And this Omaha Steaks has been around since 1917, and I've known it all of my life, that feeling of when that big styrofoam box shows up on the porch. And it is the perfect time to stock up. Handcrafted flavor and convenience. Every steak aged to maximize tenderness. It's grass-fed, grain-finished, so it's better marbled for exceptional flavor. And that's what a lot of steakhouses and professional chefs use, is grass-fed, grain-finished. Burgers, chicken, pork, seafood, desserts. Get fired up for fall. omahasteaks.com, 50% off site-wide. The code is Bernstein. It's the Red Hot Sale event. Extra 35 off with my name. Minimum purchase may apply. See site for details. Big thanks to our advertiser, Omaha Steaks. We have budding controversy, if not scandal, in the NBA.
Scandal for sure.
Well, if in fact these allegations prove true, absolute massive scandal and a huge issue for Adam Silver.
And there is an ongoing investigation, correct? That they open an investigation.
They are, according to the NBA, the official comment was, "We are aware of this morning's media report regarding the LA Clippers and are commencing an investigation."
Okay. Yeah.
Because Pablo Torre, who does a wonderful job on his podcast, Pablo Torre Finds Out. And there should be more Pablo Torres out there. Everybody should aspire to have this kind of curiosity and the wherewithal to follow up on that curiosity. When I talk to kids who want to get into journalism, this is what you want to get into. It isn't just reading press releases and parroting what agents say. As was once said, I believe, by George Orwell, journalism is reporting what people don't want reported. All else is public relations. This is journalism. Because Pablo Torre says he has gained access to more than 3,000 pages of internal documents and spoke with multiple unnamed sources that allege a 2022 scheme to pay Kawhi Leonard a 4-year, $28 million contract outside of the league's salary restrictions, a pure circumvention of the salary cap for a no-show job with a now defunct company called Aspiration Partners that fronted the money, again, according to the allegations, that fronted the money to Kawhi Leonard without reporting it to the league, without the league knowing. And it's a Steve Ballmer-owned company. He is also the primary owner of the Clippers. And their anonymous source says, I didn't so much discover the deal as I was told about it. This is somebody from Aspiration's finance department who was told, oh, by the way, we have a marketing deal with Kawhi Leonard for $28 million, an organic marketing sponsorship deal with Kawhi. I was told if I had any questions about it, don't ask, because it was to, quote, circumvent the salary cap, LOL. Like, actually, those words were used.
Oh, boy.
According to the source. And Steve Ballmer...
Well, that's still kind of gray, though. There's a little bit of gray area there.
Put $50 million in Aspiration in 2021. The team is denying it in a statement to The Athletic. The team said neither Mr. Ballmer nor the Clippers circumvented the salary cap or engaged in any misconduct related to Aspiration. Any contrary assertion is provably false. The team ended its relationship with Aspiration years ago during the 2022-23 season when Aspiration defaulted on its obligations. Neither the Clippers nor Mr. Ballmer was aware of any improper activity by Aspiration or its co-founder until after the government instituted its investigation. The team and Mr. Ballmer stand ready to assist law enforcement in any way they can. Aspiration is described as a financial technology and sustainability services company. Okay. They filed for bankruptcy in March. So from this statement, it sounds to me like they are trying to pin this on the co-founder. And I don't think it matters. Because I think the NBA would have to say that an owner of an NBA team must be aware of these things and is responsible for being aware of these things, as is the player.
Right. No, what's Ballmer's relationship to Aspiration?
Co-founder. But when they say Mr. Ballmer was not aware of any improper activity by Aspiration or its co-founder, I want to know who their fall guy is going to be.
Right. It sounds like that's who they're pointing.
That
they're creating that path to lead to that guy.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
And I believe that the Clippers in, I think, 2015 had a minor fine regarding a cap circumvention issue of something like $250,000. So for the franchise, it's pre-Ballmer, I believe, but for the franchise, that would be another strike.
So hang on a second here. I'm an idiot. So Steve Ballmer owns the Clippers.
Correct.
He is a co-founder of this company, Aspiration.
Yep.
Puts money and puts $50 million into the company.
Yep.
Then this company signs an endorsement deal with Kawhi Leonard.
A no-show marketing deal.
So he doesn't
Not
have
even
to do
an
any
endorsement.
work. He just gets $28 million. Doesn't have to do anything.
Planting trees.
Okay. Doesn't have to do anything. Gets $28 million through Aspiration, which Steve Ballmer is a co-founder and put $50 million into. And yet he wasn't aware of anything they were doing. And yet it's quoted as saying
more than half of his initial investment total
yeah.
in this company was supposedly given to Kawhi Leonard.
Okay.
I don't think it's reasonable to think if this existed that he couldn't have known.
Again, it's just the easiest default. I didn't know. I mean, that's what coaches, owners, I just didn't know. I wasn't aware.
The Pat Fitzgerald?
Right.
I
wasn't aware.
How was I supposed to know? I'm only the head coach of the team.
You know, Mark Cuban, he jumps in and he had something to say about it on X. He says, I'm on Team Baller. Ballmer, sorry. As much as I wish they'd circumvented the salary cap, first, Steve isn't that dumb. If he tried to feed KL money, knowing what was at stake for him personally and his team, do you think he would let the company go bankrupt, knowing all creditors would be visible to the world? They got scammed by Aspiration, along with many others, crimes for which they pleaded guilty last week. So how could he get scammed by Aspiration if he's a co-founder and put money into it?
I also want to know what the NBA feels about the obligation of the player, where Kawhi Leonard, he's smart enough to know that this is a salary cap circumvention. He can't play dumb. At some point, what responsibility does the player have to be like, I don't think this is kosher. I don't think I'm allowed to get it. You can't just hand me this money from a company that the owner of the Clippers also owns. He and his agent.
Yeah.
And whoever is, because he may not be his primary agent and maybe his marketing
may not be.
person.
And while I understand what you're saying, and I agree with you to a certain extent, if you're a player and someone says, hey, here's a $28 million endorsement deal, and your agent presents it to you, are you really as a athlete going to say, let's really dig into this and help me understand? If these are people that you trust,
well, somebody's got to have a responsibility there.
I agree.
An accredited agent, that agent should be stripped of an accreditation.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's hard for me to put it all on the player if these are.
I'm not putting it all on the player.
And you have to be smarter than that as an athlete as well.
Sure,
of course.
These are corporations now. NBA players are massive, multi-billion-dollar corporations.
Okay, but tell me
and
though,
responsibility comes with that.
No, you're right. You're 100% right. But tell me, how does Steve Ballmer get scammed if he's a co-founder and put money into it?
I don't know.
How does he get scammed by that same company?
That's a question for Mark Cuban.
That's what I don't get.
I don't know.
I do love his line, though, that scammers do scammy things. That's true.
Yeah, I agree. Because my phone keeps ringing with somebody who says my loan is approved.
Right? I'm telling you, take it. Take it. Maybe we go out to lunch.
And it's coming from bizarre...
Bizarre.com?
No, bizarre area codes. Strange area codes.
Where do you get your loans from? Bizarre.com?
Bizarre.com. Would you like a loan? Why are you talking like that? I don't know. I have money. But they keep saying, and it's also these really, it's clearly AI generated, but it's really casual voicemails. Hey, it's Susan. I just got your loan documents. We just have a couple things that we need from you. And they're like, even there's
you send it to them?
No, even there's a point where like you hear the phone get set down. Oh, sorry about that. I got it. Yeah, and like talking to somebody off the phone. It's AI.
Yeah,
and they make it sound super conversational.
Oh, nice.
And
you fell for it?
But just, no,
Is
stop.
that the bottom line?
Stop leaving me these voicemails because I keep thinking it's like my dentist or something. So stop.
Cuban also says it actually makes perfect sense that if they stole money from investors and want the Clippers to succeed, why not give stolen money to help keep their best player? Come on, Mark. He seems smarter than that. Come on.
Yeah, if you think he's smarter than that, I know he's smart.
And then he says, it's sad that Pablo Torre didn't take the time to find out how these scammers pulled off their scam. The idea that the default is Ballmer is the bad guy is going to backfire on him. I don't see that.
Or it could be his fault for not sniffing out a scam.
Correct.
Like at some point, you can't just like, I don't know. It's not like credit card fraud.
But he's a co-founder, invested in it.
Right.
It seems too logical that it was an opportunity to circumvent the salary cap. It just seems too logical to me.
And Pablo Torre also said now he is training his sights on the Knicks and Jalen Brunson.
And not that Pablo Torre couldn't make a mistake at time, but this guy is pretty thorough.
They have lawyers.
Yeah, he's not gonna put something out there without.
It's owned by The Athletic. It's New York Times. They've got lawyers.
Right.
There are certain standards. They don't want to get
so
sued.
is this just one owner coming to the aid of another owner? And
I don't know. So you ask what happens. Let's say there's something shady that goes on. What's the precedent? And the answer is this, and it involves a former Chicago Bull.
Luol-Deng?
Why do you hate Luol-Deng? No. Although Luol-Deng could afford to pay this off. You see the money he's making with his commercial real estate business?
No.
Oh, my God. Mogul.
Really?
Yes.
Good for him.
Yeah. And also he is the benefactor of South Sudan basketball as a national team. The guy's had an amazing off-the-court post ball life.
And why do you hate him?
And a hell of a career. Why do you hate him then? After 2000, Joe Smith, the number one overall pick from the Timberwolves, was involved in a salary cap evading scandal. This was Glenn Taylor and then GM Kevin McHale. Glenn Taylor's the owner. He was allegedly promised a future multi-million-dollar deal if he signed with the team for below market value, allowing them to make some short-term moves. 3 one-year contracts for less than $3 million apiece. So the T-Wolves kept bird rights, then go over the cap to re-sign him. And at the end of the last one-year deal, he could have signed a new long-term deal for $86 million. That's $86 million in money 25 years ago.
Correct.
So there was all kinds of chaos involving his agent, Andrew Miller, who got in a legal argument with Eric Fleischer, who owned the sports marketing firm, And Fleischer sued, and because of the lawsuit and in discovery, they learned about all of these off-the-books deals. So David Stern fined the T-Wolves $3.5 million, voided all those short-term contracts, voided Joe Smith's bird rights, barred Glenn Taylor from being involved in the T-Wolves operations until August of 2001, suspended Kevin McHale. It was a forced unpaid leave of absence, and took away the T-Wolves' first-round picks in 01, 02, 03, 04, and 05.
Yeah, well,
that's the case precedent.
Now, if I remember correctly, though, going back and talking about this, that weren't some of those first-round picks were given back eventually.
Yes, I think 03 and 05.
So it gave two, but he took 3 first-round picks away. 01, 01, 02, and 04.
That is, that's and this is bigger than that.
Yeah.
This is cash money if this proves true.
Straight cash.
This is straight cash, homie. But the best part about it is Joe Smith was bad.
Yeah.
Nice guy.
But that's 5, David Stern.
I shouldn't say bad. He just wasn't really, never played up to his pedigree.
Right. I mean, you didn't like him, just not as much as you hate Lou Aldang.
Are you going to do this?
I'm not doing anything.
Please stop. Please don't. Just, come on.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Unbelievable. It's like a 15-year-old bit. And I guarantee you, I'm going to get Bernstein hates Lou Aldang for everything he does in South Sudan.
People, he hates the South Sudan.
Yep. You know how people are. You know what it's going to be? It's going to be a giant article, Bernstein critical of South Sudanese basketball program for ancient tribal reasons.
Story by Matt Avaticola.
Yep.
I'll write it.
Yep. Hi.
It'll be the first article on 312sports.com.
So keep your eye on this. It is a massive story. I was in touch especially when the news came out about the Jalen Brunson thing. I was in touch yesterday with a former high-ranking Knicks executive, and I just was breaking his balls over it. I'm like, Jim Dolan would never do something like this. Not Jim Dolan. Joe, are you kidding? No. Some of these other owners, sure, but Jim Dolan, never. So I can't wait. I can't wait to see what happens there with what they find out about what may be going on with Brunson and how Pablo Torre has people coming to him now like, hey, by the way, hey, I got a little information for you, and things kind of fall in your lap in that regard. So we will watch for follow-ups. Speaking of follow-ups, I have one to something that we were discussing a couple of days ago. And I was laughing at a lot of the reaction because on Tuesday, I was talking about my experience in Michigan Harbor Country over the weekend and driving up and around in Southwest Michigan, and all the bizarre appearance of all the weed stores on like Red Arrow Highway and near 94 and just over the border, and how that was completely unsustainable, that there was nobody there and everything looked strange. And I didn't understand the business. What's the business? How can this possibly work? Now, there were a couple of YouTube comments that you're an idiot. They're all doing great, and it's so much cheaper, and it isn't just people from Indiana. It's people from Chicago, and you don't know, and I was just there, and all those places are packed. I thought, okay.
Was it you are an idiot, or was it talking about your idiot that you own?
I'm sure there was some YOUR in there. I didn't check, but guess what? This was published last month in a local newspaper, the Michigan Bridge, which is sort of like Block Club here, kind of a localized, hyper local.
Yeah.
And the headline is Michigan marijuana market cratering amid oversupply, quote, difficult market, unquote. So the answer is it's exactly what we thought it was. It said marijuana sales are slowing and prices are dropping in Michigan, choked by increasing competition and oversupply. Last month, Toronto-based cannabis company TerraSend announced it would completely exit the Michigan market, closing 20 retail stores and 4 cultivation facilities. The company's executive chairperson called Michigan an extremely difficult market. And I didn't know this. Michigan doesn't cap the number of dispensaries allowed in the state. And communities that have tried to do so have faced lawsuits. 75 of Michigan's 83 counties,
83.
thank you, now count at least one marijuana business. There are more than 850 such businesses statewide.
Wait, say that stat again?
75 of Michigan's 83 counties
83.
now count at least one marijuana business.
Wow. Okay.
So they've got all the charts and graphs here, and the industry is approaching a, quote, saturation point where new dispensaries that start are cutting into the business of others, said Nathan Joyal, who studies and teaches about cannabis issues at Northern Michigan University. He said that phenomenon is what's driven the price down and the competition up. It's saturated.
So that dude teaches a class about cannabis?
He must. Or he just happens to be an expert because of some
use. So what are the other 8 counties waiting for? Like, let's go. Get on board here.
Maybe they're deeply religious counties.
People smoke weed who love Jesus,
but like around Grand Rapids, because that place is weird.
Oh,
it's so weird,
like culty weird.
Yeah, that's
religion. Okay,
yeah, that's like the Dominionist. That's the DeVos family.
Okay, so they don't.
That's Amway.
Yeah, they're not going to smoke weed.
I don't know.
They're going to sell you
of
lots
course
of
they
soap,
do.
though.
Everybody does. They're just going to say that they don't. You know how that all works. You know the hypocrisy there.
Yeah. Well, I don't smoke weed. I haven't in years. I would love to, but I don't think I should. I don't think I should smoke. That's the whole thing.
Edibles, man.
You know, I did an edible once, and I think I maybe had too much. I don't know.
How many grams?
I couldn't tell you.
Well, you're not allowed?
No, I don't know. I can't tell you. It's a secret. I don't know. I ate what was shared with me by.
You got to be careful.
And yeah, it was not. I did not like the way I felt.
That is a bad feeling.
So that was a one and done thing for me.
I've had somebody look at me and say, "You ate the whole cookie?"
Are you not supposed to?
You got to know.
Okay.
Because I was like, you weren't supposed to eat the whole cookie. Like, oh boy.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
How'd that go for you?
It was great.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. No, it ended up being, we had nowhere to go. Everything was fine. But apparently that in Wisconsin and in Indiana, that's where everybody's been targeted because, and same thing goes when you drive near the border here and you see everything clustered up at the border. And that's where in Michigan, everything is clustered. So we've noticed that in Iron County, Gogebic, and Menominee counties along the Wisconsin state line, and Branch and St. Joseph County, I gave you the direct reporting for St. Joseph County, alongside Indiana, each has more than 3 dispensaries per 10,000 people.
That's a lot.
That is a lot.
Yeah, it is.
So we got our answer to that. So there.
Start smoking more weed, people. If you're in Michigan.
I didn't say that. I didn't say you said that. It's satisfying to get an explanation.
Yeah, no,
is all.
No, you're good. You're
okay,
good.
All right, and that will do it for this episode of DBU.
Yeah. Real quick though, because talking about the weed thing. A couple years ago, we went to Toronto for a long weekend.
Okay.
And it, Natalie and I were up there for a long weekend. We did like a food walking tour. There's like this international.
Did you get Indian, by the way?
We did.
In Toronto's great.
So the food tour we're on, it's this really eclectic area of Toronto that has it's like all international food, and it's like one shop after another. And so we're going around, and you get different types of food. But every other store, it felt like every other store was a dispensary. And people just walking down the streets. And so I was like, all right, so it's the first time I ever went to a dispensary.
Okay.
So we go in and had no idea. And it was like walking into a really nice boutique. I mean, there was like red carpets, and I mean, it was beautifully lit, and it was just, it was, and sir, can we help you? And so like, I'm like whispering, like, cause I'm like, I'm uncertain about what I'm doing. And I said, hey
man, it's Dave. I got the stuff. I got the stuff, man.
I was like, so we're sitting there at the counter, and I was like, hey, I just want, like a joint. Can I get a joint?
Can I get a joint?
And he's like, well, what are you looking for? And I go, well, I want to be able to walk and I want to giggle and have a little fun.
Sativa.
I just want to relax.
Yeah, so you want a little bit of sativa. Well, those are different things. If you want to giggle, you want a hybrid maybe.
I have no
sativa.
idea what I wanted. That's why I talked to the expert. And so he gave me, and I was like, well, what about rolling them? And he's like, oh no, they're already
Pre-rolled.
rolled. And I'm like, really? I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing what this industry has done. And then they're like given to you in a little like medicine container and then
you got to
it's
show
like,
your ID like 6 times.
feel free to sit right here in our lounge, which is like like a garage door was pulled open. It was like their lounge is open to the street, and feel free to, or just if you're going to wander around, go ahead and enjoy. First time I'd ever done it, but literally I had it was like every other store was a dispensary. So it was like amazing food, weed, amazing food, weed, amazing food, weed. And it all worked out. Because in the very last spot we ended up at, we were at, it was a Chinese restaurant, and we ordered some ramen, and the menu was in Chinese, except below
and you understood it.
Below it in smaller font was English, but I couldn't see the English. So I'm looking at the menu.
Your eyes are not great.
Natalie was like, what is wrong? And I go, it's in Chinese. How am I supposed to order? And then she's like, well, there's the English right underneath the Chinese, you idiot. I'm like, oh, yeah.
Or I thought it was actually all in English and you were just seeing it as Chinese.
Because of the weed?
Right, which is possible.
Yeah, so that's, anyway, have you been to Toronto?
Yes.
You have?
Yeah, Beth and I, before we had kids and we used to just go away on a whim to places.
Yeah.
Which we need to start doing again. We did that with maybe shorter trips. Yeah,
maybe not go as far.
We're going to go visit Jason in New Orleans in a couple of weeks. No, next month at some point. So
yeah, you said that.
We'll say hi to him and then we'll go on about our business.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have been. We went there. We went to Montreal. We did a bunch.
Montreal is a place I want to get to.
It's great.
I've heard great things about Montreal. I love Toronto though, and I can't wait to get back to Toronto.
Well, that's going to do it for DBU. He's Matt Abaticola. I'm Dan Bernstein. A couple things tomorrow. You can hear me at 8:15 on WDRV, The Drive.
The Drive.
90. I got to say it like Bob Strat. The Drive.
With Sherman and Tingle.
I'll be on with Sherman and Tingle. Those idiots. Love those guys. They're an absolute delight, by the way. And I've listened to them in the past, but they're awesome, and I love going on. And Mondays and Fridays, regularly 8:15, we'll be in talking Bears and life and things. They like to throw all sorts of stuff at me because they're goofballs.
Yep.
But Bernstein at 8:15 tomorrow, and then we're going to do our first Feedback Friday. From stuff that you've sent in, and it's not really a mailbag. It's just kind of reacting to your reactions.
Yeah, because it's been a week, and we want to just share some of the thoughts that we've gotten from people, and I do appreciate all of your feedback to the show, all the suggestions as well. Again, we're taking everything in place, and we're going to evolve the show as we keep moving forward. But also today, though. Forward Progress.
Yeah, Forward Progress. Good one today. So make sure that you subscribe to the YouTube channel for Forward Progress as well. And make sure that you like this podcast and rate it and subscribe to it as well, wherever you get your podcast. Talk to you tomorrow.
Dan Bernstein Unfiltered. Unfiltered on 312 Sports.